I need to get my hat.
You can get your hat. Why don't you go get your hat, Doc? Okay, first of all, I apologize. We are late. Guilt is charged. So, next subject. How Doc's getting his hat. So, that's his thinking hat, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
So, we're going to be talking about how to raise swine. And it's lucky thing that Doc's written a book on everything swine. Oh, you got 2 books out today. And Doc goes for a walk. And next year, when you want to raise a pig, this is the book that you would recommend they get.
Well, absolutely. It's the A to Z. Even the fact of breeding a sow, farrowing pigs, and delivering those pigs if there's problems, and then feeding them and going for exhibition, if you will, or if it's just a small family operation.
Yeah, so we talked yesterday about kids getting started, and you kind of recommended they start out with sheep or lamb or goat.
Right.
When can they start? At 9 or 8?
No, I think it's 9.
9. Yeah. So that's when you started, right?
No, I started at 10.
Oh, 10.
At those days, they didn't allow 9-year-olds.
Oh, okay. All right. So you were the oldest, so you were the first one. You were the test dummy, right? Back, let me see
the test
do my math. That was
okay.
71 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna be talking through this book today, the table of contents, and I guess I'm gonna pretend that I'm a parent, and we've done goats and sheep with my 9-year-old, and done it for 2 years. You'd recommend kind of 2 years,
Yeah.
as a follow-on from our yesterday's conversation,
Right.
and the next step would be some pigs.
If they
Show the maturity.
Yeah.
What would you? How would you make the determination whether a kid is ready or not?
Well, it's whether they're out there being aggressive about making sure they're fed, and
Where they show an interest.
and they show an interest.
Yeah. So that's pretty key. Making them do it. It could be kind of painful.
Right.
Yeah. Although there's going to be times where you have to, as a parent, got to force them to do what they got to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So the housing space is going to be a little different for pigs than it is for goats and sheep and what have you.
Right.
So what do you recommend in terms of preparing the space? And when should they have the space prepared?
Well, first, the space depends on how they're arriving at this. Whether they're having a sow birth pigs and raise them, or whether they're going to purchase pigs as what we call feeder pigs when they weigh 40, 50 pounds.
I would guess probably the first year they do it would probably buy feeder pigs.
Right. Okay.
Would you recommend getting a sow and farrowing yourself, what have you, first time around?
Not first time around.
Yeah.
Although our book does cover those angles if you have some experience caring for swine.
Yeah. So the first step you would recommend, they'd be 11, 12 years old, have shown some responsibility for taking care of their animals.
Yes.
Okay. And so what kind of a time frame, you're saying the goats, around March. You okay? Want to get some water?
Yeah, let me get some water.
We're going to take a break. So he's going to get some water. So, do you guys want any water? Can we get you some tea or coffee or anything? So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in. And for future reference, we'll answer them generally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when we're on. And we're on YouTube and Facebook. And maybe we'll go back to TikTok. We have quite a thing going on TikTok, but I don't know. They just cut us off one day, and for no real apparent reason. But anyway, what can I say? So here we go. Okay, so getting back to the question was, when would you anticipate getting the pigs?
If you have an August exhibition time, certainly in March or whatever, if they're weigh 40 pounds or so, they can gain 2 pounds a day, but during the hot summer months, they probably only gain 1 pound. So do the math and kind of calculate when the fair date is, the exhibition, so that you can time things to go that way. And the thing with that is that, yes, buy a 40-pound pig, maybe if it's an August show, late February or early March. And I say pig, but it's really, you need more than one pig. They're a social animal, and you want them to eat well and be vigorous and that sort of thing, and they won't be if they're by themselves.
Okay, so at least a couple of pigs.
Yes. And the other thing is, you have to realize is pigs are smarter than dogs. And so they sometimes
put the latch on the outside, not the inside, right?
Exactly. So there's things like that that's involved with them. And so if you do not dare raise them on grass and dirt, because I can tell you they'll develop a mud hole and waller in the mud hole and that kind of thing. And in the book, there's plans to how to develop a little housing, a shanty type affair, and an exercise out front that's based on slats. And by that, I mean so that the slats, when the pig defecates or urinates, it drops through the cracks between the slats so that you've always got it clean. And then something a little bigger than a doghouse, bedded with some straw or shavings or something like that for them to lay in.
Would you like, I know one farmer that I know, he has quite a bit of sawdust. Would you say sawdust or just shavings?
You might get along with sawdust, but I'm not very excited about that because of the dust it raises and all that sort of thing. Certainly shavings would be better.
Shavings would be better. Okay. Yeah, because that was one thing that I had seen. So you've also got the square footage requirement.
Yes.
In on the book, and you've got just a wealth of information here. How to take care of the manure.
Being here working with me has got this irresistible urge to buy some pigs.
Well,
put a shelter up in town there.
I don't think my neighbors would be too thrilled about that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we're allowed to have farm animals in town or not. I don't think so.
Well, you can make one as a pet.
Well, that might not go over too well going to market.
I actually have trimmed the hooves on a pig as he laid on the living room couch in the house. And
well, you said pigs can be housebroken.
And I had to sedate him a little so that he'd lay still, and I trimmed his hooves for him while he was half asleep, sleeping on the couch in the living room with the TV running.
So I know that pigs' tusk and teeth can grow if they're not ground down. So is that something else that we need to address?
That not for a 4-H project of raising up to market size. Now, if you are raising a boar, a male hog,
right,
when they get to be 6 or 8 months old, they start having tusks. And as they mature, they'll have tusks that maybe is 2 or 3 inches long on their what would be called canine teeth on a dog. But so yes, they can have that sort of thing.
Yeah, but that's your for a 4-H feeder, you're going to get a
stick to a 35, 40 pound pig.
Yeah, and a female pig, not a boar.
At least a neutered or castrated pig.
Okay. And that's something that you want to have the vet do, or is that something that if people have experience, they can do?
Well, there are many farmers that have large operations that do it themselves, and I don't have an issue with that. But if this is a new experience for you, you best
Get a
the
professional
veterinarian involved.
Yeah, get a veterinarian involved. Okay. So we've built the house, we've gotten the book and done our research, and our 11 and 12-year-olds pretty excited about getting started.
Right.
And so what are let's go back to you take us through step by step. So let's look at the step by step. You've got a table of contents in this book.
Yes. Yes.
What a concept. Oh, let's talk about your other book for just a second.
Yes.
You've done 11 books, and all of them are fairly technical. Gee, many Christmas. What'd you do yourself, Doc?
Oh, it's a bruise.
Good Lord. So tell us about this book, Doc.
This is not a technical book. It's a book of stories and experiences and different things that happen. And some of it describes the really funny things, as my late wife, Dr. Judy, she was a veterinarian also, operated our veterinary practice. And the thing is that some of the stories are absolutely hilarious. Some of them are embarrassing to me, and some of them is the kind of thing that talks about life, and people that read this would say, I know what kind of person you're talking about that way, and maybe they even think they know the person that did that.
It's what, 360 some pages?
Yes, and
It's a great read.
67 stories.
It will help restore your faith in humanity. I got to tell you that. It's heroes aren't the exception. They're the rule in our little community.
Yes.
So yeah. So we can get that book at your website,
Yes.
VACA Resources, VACAresources.com.
That's right.
And if you buy it from your website, you'll sign it.
I will.
And what were you using? What blue crayons these days?
And I'll get it signed, probably in blue ink even.
I was joking about the crayons.
And we ship them out within a day or two of when they're ordered.
Okay. We are.
And by the way, I didn't mention, you also can buy it off of Amazon.
Yes, you can get it off Amazon. So, okay. And what kind of a breed of pig should somebody consider if they're first time?
The thing is that it depends on whether you want to be in the purebred hog business or not. But a good choice is a crossbred hog, meaning a couple of different breeds. Generally, those pigs will be white, or they might have some Hampshire breeding behind them or something like that. And that's okay, because what you're looking for is their anatomy, their shape, and this sort of thing. And I would suggest, if you got a 4-H advisor and it's a swine club, to ask them about purchase and help them select the pig, and never select just one pig, because pigs, they're very intelligent, and if they're by themselves, they do not eat well.
So at least 2,
yes,
but 3, maybe 4 would be better.
Whatever
you can handle with.
Yes.
Now keep them in the same pen.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Keep them in the same pen.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're going to get them at about 40 pounds.
Right.
Okay.
And that's assuming that the exhibition is going to be, and this would be in March, and that's early March, and this is assuming the exhibition will be sometime in late August.
So you want to get them at 5 to 6 months in advance of your fair date.
Exactly.
Yeah. So at 40 pounds or thereabouts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know I saw China, Poland. Is that right?
Poland, China.
Poland, China. and Hampshire, a lot of Hampshires and crosses between those. Are there any other kind of predominant
Well,
pigs?
yes, the white hogs can be Landrace or Chester White or Yorkshire. Now, the Landrace isn't going to be as fancy a hog in the show ring as the other two breeds. And one of the really, if you're into a purebred hog, one of the really good ones in the show ring is Berkshire.
Berkshire.
And they are very anatomically very correct, and when they go to the packing plant for meat processing, and by the way, this is a conversation you need to have with your child, but when you go, they will grade out in the meat counter really well.
And and what breed was that again?
Berkshire.
Berkshire. Okay.
And the thing is, I don't recommend them for a commercial hog operation because the litters are relatively small, where they'll have 6 or 8 pigs. Or to give you an idea, Yorkshire or Landrace or one of those white breeds may very well have 16 to 20 pigs.
Yeah. So, but for showing, that's something you might look at.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, and of course, it's not going to be cheap.
Nope.
Yep. Going to be kind of a hole in your pocket.
Well, somewhat.
Yep. And but not as expensive as flying airplanes and learning how to fly an airplane.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah. So that was our hobby growing up.
Right.
And
generally, a 40-pound pig is going to cost you $80 or $90.
That's not too bad.
No.
And then to feed them all is probably going to be what, in the neighborhood of several $100 for the 5 months.
Right now, feed is cheap.
Is it?
And consequently, I would think $100 would cover that pretty well.
Okay, so they get down to market size, they could potentially make a little bit of money.
Yes, and especially like, for instance, our county fair, they sell the pigs.
Oh, they did really well this year. Really well this year.
Commercially, they sell them to a buyer for a packing plant, but then they turn around and they put a premium on the price. I'm talking about the fair board puts a premium on the price, so that in addition to whatever price they're paid by the packing plant, they may have $200, $300, $400 more added as a goodwill gesture from merchants and people like that in the community.
Okay. So, and then we're going to wrap this up after bringing home a new pig. So, obviously you need to be, and he has some pickup truck to transport them.
Right.
And it's going to be March or April. So a covered pickup truck.
Yeah.
Of some sort. And,
or a trailer, a horse trailer or something like that.
Or even there's such a thing as a swine trailer too.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Although if you're a 4-H'er and you haven't been in the swine business, well, you don't need to go out and buy a swine trailer. Although operations that have a lot of swine, they typically will have a trailer like that.
Sure. And you know some kids that got into it in 4-H and FFA, and that's